Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Hearthstone. The new expansion is almost here, so we're looking at the Kobolds and Catacombs expansion, which you can do, even though it's not quite out, by going to crafting mode and clicking here. And then for good measure, we'll just include the uncraftable cards. Last time we looked at the priest cards and there was some wildness there. And this time we're going to look at the rogue cards. Particularly, the priest cards had a card that stole cards. Rogues have traditionally been the ones that could steal cards from other players. So we may see some kind of priest ability in the rogue card as we look at them. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we'll just see some other new things. First one we have is immediately a 1 mana 1 attack durability legendary weapon called the King's Bane. Death Rattle. Shuffle this into your deck. It keeps any enhancements. Interesting. Amazingly good weapon, particularly for the rogue. This starts to make it a lot more realistic to try to have some of those weapon enhancements that give your weapon +1 attack or +2 attack or plus durability. I imagine if you give it plus durability, though, it wouldn't be able to maintain that. On top of that, you have Boomerang, which would allow you to use this and then bring it back to your hand, and I assume it would also keep any enhancements when you bring it back to your hand via Boomerang. This really is a card that I think you're going to want to play. So this is the first legendary of this expansion I definitely want. Now I feel like there's too many cards have been made legendary in the expansion, some of which didn't really deserve to be made legendary, just so that they can force you to buy more card packs. Hopefully they would get away from that and the drop rate on legendaries would just increase. I guess that's what I want more than anything, is just for the drop rate to increase. I'd like to be able to buy 50 to 100 packs and have a complete collection in the expansion by that, plus a lot of dust, and that just be the end of that. And I seriously doubt that's going to be the case. It's getting up to like 400 packs sometimes necessary to get all of the cards, and way more if you want them in gold. Next we have a 2 mana 3 attack 1 health character minion called the Cavern Shiny Finder. Battle cry, draw a weapon from your deck. So clearly this is for a weapons deck rogue, and if this is the only weapon in your deck, playing this on the second turn and playing this on the third, still probably very useful. But you're going to have to fill your deck with a lot of enhancements for this to start to make sense. And there's still an inherent problems with having a weapon that's really buffed up. Unless you can give this weapon something like Wind Fury, or you have immunity while you're attacking, which will have to be some new spell cards, because nothing that I can think of can do that to a weapon. You're going to still take damage every time you attack a minion. Next we have a 2 mana spell called Cheat Death. Secret: when a friendly minion dies, return it to your hand. It costs 2 less. For 2 mana, this spell is totally worth playing. And the comment here is the flavor text is reported, so it's been reported for cheating. Cheating death. Yeah, I see no reason why you wouldn't want to play this. Have 2 of those in your deck unless you got something better to play. Next we have a 2 mana spell called Invasion. Secret: after your hero takes damage, become immune this turn. Evasion, not invasion. Not a terrible idea to play, if particularly right when you think you're going to lose, to give yourself that extra turn. There is a mage spell card that's very much like this, and it gets used a lot, and it's helpful for mage players quite a bit. So again, cards you definitely want to play if you have them. Next we have a 2-mana spell called Sudden Betrayal. Secret: when a minion attacks your hero, instead it attacks one of its neighbors. When a minion attacks your hero, instead it attacks one of its neighbors. So I imagine this secret would only trigger if there's at least 2 minions on your opponent's field. They're going a little secret heavy for the rogue. Rogue are super known for secrets like the hunter is. So that's interesting. Expanding it so that all of the heroes have a decent number of weapons and secrets is a good idea. It allows for a variety of play so that we don't see the same number of hunter decks that are built around secrets or mage decks that are built around spells. The same boring strategies, the same Jade Druid or Secret Paladin decks over and over again. Next we have a 3-mana, 2-attack, 2-health legendary minion called Sunya's Shadow Dancer. After a friendly minion dies, add a 1/1 copy of it to your hand. It costs 1 mana. Let's see. There's no cards right now that I see that would synergize with this, but it seems like it is a very useful card to have. Unfortunately, it's also kind of a weak legendary, so killing a 2/2 minion's not going to be difficult. I would definitely want to play something like this, but I would have to play it with some taunts or divine shields on it just to allow it to stay alive for 2 or 3 turns. Next we have a 4-mana, 3-attack, 2-health minion called Elven Minstrel. Combo: draw 2 cards, draw 2 minions from your deck. It's a little weak, but it is a combo card, and there is a daily quest for playing combo cards. As far as I know, there's nothing in the expansion. I've never seen anything in any of the expansions that give us new daily quests. It wouldn't be a terrible idea if they introduced some new things for daily quests, because they can get rather boring and repetitive, but yeah, I haven't seen anything indicating they're going to do that. However, if you need to play combo cards, this seems almost worth it. It wouldn't be my first pick. This would probably be my last pick of a combo card, and otherwise I don't see a real reason to play it. If you're drawing minions, just random minions from your deck, that tells you have a weak deck, and playing a weak card to draw 2 random minions is only adding to the problem, not improving it. Next we have a 4-mana, 4-attack, 4-health minion called Veldori Strider. Battlecry: shuffle 3 ambushes into your deck. When drawn, summon a 4/4 spider. This is interesting because before there was a card very similar to this where you shuffle 3 ambush creatures into your opponent's deck, not your deck, and when they're drawn, it summons a 4/4 spider. This turn, it would summon them on your turn instead of your opponent's turn, and I don't see really any other reason for it. The thing that this will help with, and you probably should play this and the other ambush spider, whatever it's called, very typically, because it will destroy Reno Jackson strategies and other strategies like Reno Jackson that say you must have no duplicates in your deck. If you put a bunch of duplicates in your opponent's deck, that stops them from using Reno Jackson to refill their life. That being said, playing this destroys your Reno Jackson strategy, so I'm not sure why you would play it. Otherwise, it's just a very neutral card. 4 mana for 4 attack for 4 health. Very, very neutral. So I don't think I'd play that one. Yep. Moving on, we have a 4 mana, 3 attack, 3 health creature called the Kobold Illusionist. We haven't seen a lot of indications what the Kobold is. Kobold. And any kind of like story. I imagine that's all going to happen in the single player element that's being added. But we have one at least. It has a death rattle. Summon a 1/1 copy of a minion from your hand. Not terrible, but not great either. You'd have to do a lot of strategy to play this and have it cost that 1 extra mana to summon a 1/1 copy of a very special card from your hand. And I don't know what that card would really be. If it was Kelth Azul, perhaps that would be worth it, but otherwise it doesn't seem like it's the most useful card until you find something with a really, really good ability. Then finally we have a 5 mana spell, the Lesser Onyx Spellstone. Destroy 1 random enemy minion, play 3 death rattle cards to upgrade. And then I assume it would destroy 2 random minions. For 5 mana, that's not terrible. And then if you were going to play a bunch of death rattle cards as a rogue anyways, that's not terrible. But there's not a lot of synergy here. The main card here that's got my attention is Kingsbane. Let's see how that works. Some of these others don't quite make sense. Well, that's rogue cards. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.